Hello, everybody. This is the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards. My name is Matt, and we're going to talk today about documentaries and drone films. And I am welcoming Dwight, Alexandra, Joris, and Julien. Half of them are French. So I guess French people are in the place because I'm French myself. So how are you doing, guys?
Fine.
Thank you.
Perfect. Excellent. We're going to start very simple. Each and every one of you is going to tell us who you are and what's your film. Okay, let's start with you, Dwight.
Hello, everyone. My name's Dwight Stephen Bonetsky. I'm the director of the film Searching for Skylab. Our film is a documentary about the first station that America ever launched up into space called Skylab. I got interested in telling the story because that space station crashed down in my homeland, Australia, in 1979, and I discovered it was an untold story in the shadow of Apollo, and decided to make a movie about it.
Okay, you're breaking up a little, but I guess Alexandra is going to give us a backup because Alexandra, you've been working on the same documentary. Can you tell us who you are and pitch it again, please?
That's right. So I am the producer of Searching for Skylab. I'm also the wife of Dwight. So yeah, it makes it a little bit easier, but there you go. I am at all only into space thanks to Dwight. So I'm mostly the financial and everything else backing behind the movie.
Okay. Julien, what about you? Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what's your film about? This is a drone film.
Yeah. So my name is Julian. I'm from France, and I'm the director of the film L'Urme, Scotland Journey. So it's a film about Scotland and its beautiful landscape. I'm a video editor in France, and I love what I do and I love creating movie. So that's it.
Cool. Excellent. Joris, what about you?
Hey, I'm Joris Arnaudin, Walde. I'm the editor. I was producer of the film Resourceful Youth. It's a documentary about youthness of Caribbeans, as I am. I'm French Caribbean, French West Indian from Martinique. And it's a 54-minute film.
Correct. So let's go back to Dwight. Can you tell us a little bit more about how Searching for Skylab started? Where does this project originate, and how did this adventure started for you as a filmmaker?
Well, I actually wrote a book about television that was Apollo, and did a follow-up book called Live TV from Orbit, which described how they developed the camera for Skylab. And I came across that because in the first book I was interviewing Stan Labar from Westinghouse, who was the developer of these cameras, and told me what Apollo is fantastic, but you have to see what we were doing on Skylab. So I'm like, oh, all right, okay. So I got interested in that perspective. I documented it in the book, and the more I read about it, the more I realized that this information wasn't easy to find. So I said to my wife, look, I think we need to make this movie. These astronauts aren't getting any younger. And we decided to interview them and film them and have them tell their story. Writing had a lot of archival material from NASA. And we decided to implement this into a film. And very thankfully, we did that just in time, because of the 9 astronauts we interviewed, 3 are only left. They've all passed away in the meantime.
Okay.
We got this for the last second.
Timing has been your ally on that.
Absolutely.
Alexandra, do you recall the same genesis for this project?
Quite, yes. I recall the sense of urgency, and when Dwight was just saying, if I don't make this film, I don't know who will. I have amassed so much knowledge, and the film itself is degrading in various ways, and nobody is going to be able to pick up these people to actually talk and tell us their own stories. And what a pity it would be for this story to die away, and then somebody else sometime in the history, digging through the archives like I do, like I have done for 15 years, to then find it and then not have the people to talk to. So essentially, knowing I'm also coming from broadcasting industry and knowing a little bit about the industry, I said, right, I'm going to finance you. I know that we have probably no chance in hell for anybody, any production studio to talk to us because we're brand new in the business. We have absolutely zero experience with filmmaking as such. My company is all about knowledge sharing and knowledge sharing digitally. So why don't we do this together? And I'll just back you as much as I can. And there you go. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but that's another story. I think that goes for both of us.
He's laughing. I see him laughing. Joris, you made a documentary too. Could you tell us where does the idea come from and why did you feel the need to make this documentary happen?
Well, the idea came from a discussion with a friend of mine. We were talking about how the young Caribbeans was seen in the media, in the French media, and we decided to make a movie to let them speak and give them a chance to really show who they are, how they can survive in the French society, because we are from Caribbeans. It's far from France, but we are French, and we are fully French. And French people just don't know us, and it's hard to produce a film keeping French Caribbean the right to tell about himself.
Yeah, I totally get you. This is what was very interesting when we received this documentary at the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards. It shares some light, puts some light on what's really happening. It's a pure documentary in the sense that you see what's real and what's happening. So it started because you knew there was a perception problem that the young people in the Caribbean have an image that does not match the reality of what they live in the everyday life, and you wanted to make a documentary about the positive side of it. Am I correct?
Yeah, the positive side of it, but all sides of it, because the being resourceful it's not about good or bad. It's all about surviving, and it's a hard way. It's a hard way to explain it, but it's all about surviving. And I was a student in communication when I get the idea, and so I was able to analyze what I was seeing in French media and in Caribbean media too, and it's why we decided to make the movie, because nobody else than us couldn't make it.
Testify and talk about it. Absolutely. We're going to go back to Julien. Julien, can you tell us a little bit? Yours is a little bit shorter. It's like 3 minutes. It's a drone movie. You represent the drone movie category today, so good for you. I know the story because you've been telling me this for a previous festival already. Can you tell us, for the audience we have here at the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards?
We decided to go to Scotland for our honeymoon, my wife and I, and with my child. And I have no idea when I go to Scotland to make a movie. I bought a drone just before, but never tried it. And after the first
you told me it was the first time you used a drone for that film, so it was
a little bit scary when I get out the drone for the first time, because you see the drone fly away and disappear, and you just look at the screen and you don't know where it is, so it's a little bit funny and scary too.
Yeah, the first time you pilot a drone, it's strange because you are in control, but you feel the drone is really living its own life sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. And all the we stay 3 weeks in Scotland. So after 1 week, I decided to try it and try a different approach. So I try to film just the flow, and after that try to look the landscapes. And I have no idea when I shot what I can do with my
When you started filming and getting some shots, you didn't know you were going to make a film out of it in the end.
And when I came back to France, I just watch it, and that's my job to edit movies. So I began to have an idea, and after 3 or 4 times, I didn't find the way to put all the picture
Together.
to make together. So I just thinking a little bit, and remember when I am in Scotland, all the landscape was breathtaking, and
So that was what made you connect all the dots to create the film.
So I choose a song really peaceful and quiet to not to be a part of the editing, but really not in front of the editing, in the background, and put some
to give the vibe without being prominent and kind of breaking the relationship with the film itself. Alexandra said about Skylab. Alexandra said that she was going to finance it, and because she knew that nobody else would. But still, the documentary, Dwight, the question is for you. The documentary, it's history, basically. It's history in the making. So how come nobody wanted to do this and to make this documentary and to put it in front of the world?
Because no one is as crazy as I am about Skylab. That's why it fell into place for me. Yeah, I remember when I was a schoolboy, they were realizing that Skylab would crash into Australia, and there was a poster up in my school. And I always say, well, if I could go back in time and tell my 10-year-old self that you will make the movie and you will be friends with these astronauts and these engineers, I would have just sort of looked at you and went, me? It's been an honor for me to get to know these people that made history, and it's a forgotten part of history. And that's why I wanted to do it, because everybody knows about Apollo 11. Last year, now 2 years ago, the 50th anniversary was flooded with information. But you ask somebody about Skylab, it's not a problem if you don't know. It's nobody's fault. It's just the fact that this falls in the shadow of Apollo and has been forgotten about.
It must be quite difficult for the people who haven't seen the movie yet to understand the specifics of it and the importance of what it is. So I'm just going to say the movies, the documentaries, and the drone films are going to screen next week at the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards, and I encourage people to watch them. It's entertaining. You're going to learn stuff. You're going to travel. It's going to be beautiful. What would you say, Alexandra, regarding this? Still the history making. Do you have now distribution for this documentary, and where do you stand with that?
We are pretty much the independent people in that environment. We have since I did a lot, and I was we were looking a lot of information up online, and we decided that for distribution we will probably have to go on our own. And this is what we've decided to do. We're basically learning by doing. We're probably doing everything wrong in what you're supposed to do. So you were asking
probably
about.
Not.
Sorry,
you would be surprised. You would be surprised because as a film festival, we have often the chance to talk with independent filmmakers who have to go to the same route you are going. don't say that you're doing anything wrong, because you never know what's going to happen. If you do something that you believe in and you have, let's say, an audience for it, whatever it's the size of the audience, it's gonna reach it in any way. Are you going through Amazon? Are you going through an aggregator? What are you considering, or what have you done specifically in terms of distribution so far?
It's a very sort of think on your feet story. Because it is a very niche subject, or you would think it is. It isn't really, but you know, at the beginning it is. We decided to go just with very space interested organizations. We found out later on, if you like, when I'm saying wrong, it's like not the typical way. It's not your typical way that a movie would be distributed, you know, or sold,
yep.
etc. So we had our premiere at the US Space and Rocket Center, which was a great premiere. We had 100 people. We had a whole cinema booked for us. I think the event started at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We had astronauts invited. We had 5 astronauts. We had an astronaut conference after the premiere. We had astronaut signings. It was an absolute fantastic success.
Sounds amazing.
We were in the media. We were in television. I mean, you name it. We've had a fantastic time. And it was very well received, but we didn't have any distribution. We didn't even know how to. So it all meant that we had to research online and find something. So we found a distributor who was an aggregator, an online aggregator, very well acclaimed, and then the distributor went bankrupt, taking all the proceeds from the movies from everybody. We were lucky in the respect that by the time they went bankrupt, we were just about to start on the platforms. And seriously, I think we both were so disillusioned. We said, okay, we're just going to try to do it on our own. And because it's enormous, it's an enormous amount of work. There is pretty much just the 2 of us plus some friends who are helping us out. And, you know, I also said, you know, we pretty much financed the movie ourselves. That is true, but we had a Kickstarter campaign. So we went through that as well. And was it not for the Kickstarter campaign, we couldn't have finished the movie. So I really have to thank all the people that were part of the Kickstarter campaign to actually have helped us. Distribution is still going on.
I would like to go back to Dwight, because I know he has a limited time to be with us this morning. Dwight, what about this distribution thing? What could you say about it?
You need to be very careful. We had an offer not so long ago, and I read through the distribution deal, and I just said, no, there is nothing in here that been here to us. So we walked away from it, and so we've just decided to concentrate on marketing. And for the other 2 gentlemen here tonight, I will say marketing. That is the key to everything. I've been astounded,
because basically you can have an aggregator is going to put you everywhere, but if there is no marketing to back up, nobody's going to know you are everywhere. So that's the key. The key today, we've been experimenting that with many filmmakers saying the same thing. You need someone, or you need to do it yourself sometime, but you need to promote it. You need to make people know that you are available on Amazon or Roku or anywhere. So what's your strategy about it?
We're still working on that. We've just now modified film. You know, I had to take the bill, look at things that weren't that crash hot with it, hot, change them. That was only at the end of last year. We're now getting the recognition in the film festivals, which was very important for me. And we're still working on getting our distribution up and running. That is a process that is actually in the works at the moment.
Okay, excellent. So still working on it, and you're gonna be able to take anything you're gonna learn along the way and use it for the next thing. Can you stay with us a little bit, Dwight, or do you have to leave?
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm okay.
perfect. I would like to go back to Julien. You were saying, Julien, you were talking about the music and the importance of music for your film, but still, you didn't want the music to go above the film, and you wanted it to create you wanted to create a balance out of it. So, who made the music, or how did you find the music?
The compositor is Luc Atencio. I found it on the web on a market music bed. So it's a website where we can find a lot of musician and music.
Yeah, to find the
As you
good
say,
one that would fit
yeah,
into it.
because a lot of drone movie has made with music, epic music, and
Yeah,
it catch.
epic music that really goes right
Yeah,
into it. That was not
it,
what you were looking for.
yeah, it's working, but um, uh, I like to create new things, and to fit with my idea, and my primary idea is is the audience must see Scotland as I see Scotland when I was with my
You
drone.
you wanted to
So
share the same experience and the same way you received it, and you found it beautiful. You wanted to share that. Joris, back to you. You've been talking about survival and how survival was maybe the key thing you wanted to share with that documentary. So that means these kids really are facing not an easy life, basically.
Yeah, basically, we are people from slavery. So the resources we have when you people from Martinique, from Guadeloupe, from French Guyana, I talk about French West Indies. And it's quite the same thing in all the Caribbean, but I'm was specifically talking about French West Indies. Resources we have don't make it easy for I will tell for the majority, for the most of us.
Yeah.
So I was what I wanted to do is was talking about this side of young Caribbeans that don't get money, but still don't they all aren't um,
They still find solutions to
uh,
to
still
to
find
do
solutions
things.
to survive in a classic way, in a good way. Yeah, I mean, looking for working to get money and have a family. No, not what you can see on musical videos
Yeah.
with bad boy things. It's not about that. It was about real life. So it's what I wanted to show. It's what I wanted. I think the character we have with Madikera, the young woman in the poster, uh, was was exactly what I was looking for. You
Okay.
know, she was a
Yeah.
young girl striking to survive, but looking for one job today, another job tomorrow, uh,
Kind
making
of day
artistic
to day,
things
day to day
yeah,
hustle.
day to day. So there was a lot of people like that in the Caribbean. There was a lot of people who make studies, who make one job for a few years and
Yeah.
goes to another. It's Caribbean people are just like other people, not just stereotypes.
You
And
talk a lot about stereotypes and the way you feel you are perceived in the Caribbeans, and all of this is true. My question is, Did you submit to film festivals in France? And is it something you would like to do, and why?
Well, I tried. Well, I made the movie to be seen in France and worldwide because French people don't know us, don't know about us, exceptly for holidays. They are
Yeah.
looking for beach and something like that. But it's not. It's hard when you are independent filmmaker to get access to the French festivals. You know, they're looking for. We have format.
Yeah.
We 52-minute films, 26-minute films, 90-minute films, and we have to have a way to produce it. When you want to have we have an organization, the CNC,
Yeah. The
photography,
National Center of Cinematography.
yeah. But they only gave you a chance when you have 2, 3 production companies working for you, when you have a television showing your
It's a system made in a way that you already need to have the solutions and the contacts and sometimes
yeah,
the contracts or the letters of intent, so you can get further into the system. Yeah, like, we've
yeah.
been
So
talking
we
about
were
that. Yeah.
we were in a way to making it, but in the time was, I started the movie 10 years ago, and in 10 years I made
Okay.
a lot of other things, and other short movies or some other things. But for this film, I wanted to do it in the, like Alexandra was saying, in the right way.
The right way.
So I looked for companies to produce it. Looked for producers
To
to
support
give
the film and to
support the film, to support me to make it. I thought I have found people, but in a final way, if I
fell
didn't
through.
it,
Yeah.
the film at this time should have no existence. So I had to
Yeah,
finish
I
it.
understand.
Just had to finish it.
Yeah, it's interesting what everything you say, guys, because you're talking about having basically something important to say or to show or to share, but you have to find the resources and the solutions to make it on your own. Is there anything else you would like, guys, to say about your project to the people who are gonna watch them or who just watch it or during the festival, the Hollywood Art and Movie Awards? Let's start with Alexandra.
Need to unmute myself. I think what we can say about our projects, it's very heavily backed by people who know the story, so people who were there mostly, and we know that it is the truth. We wanted to give a historical perspective, but yet make it interesting, and make it interesting not just for people who are into documentaries or people who are just have the knowledge already about space or are interested into space, but just in general. I'm, like I said, I am not originally a fan of space travel. I never was very knowledgeable about it. I can tell you, ever since we started this movie, I only understood the story properly since I've seen the movie for the first time. It was a big aha moment. And everybody whom we know who is not into space, but who likes new things, who likes history, is going to find so much information in there. And we are unable to transfer all that Skylab was in that movie, but we can give an insight, and we hope to interest people to dig in more. And, young people have been fascinated by it, which was not our target audience. But in every continent, I'm saying we've got a 10-year-old that is fascinated by it. So, definitely for everybody.
Dwight, what's your final word? What would you say to the audience of this film?
Well, I hope I've explained the story side in a way that makes it accessible and enjoyable to watch. That it's a funny thing is I was influenced by the old tacky 70s documentary, so there is that feel of the 70s in there, but hoping I made it a touch more interesting than the monotonous music and boring voiceover style you hear from NASA doco. So look forward to hearing what people think about
It
the
is.
film, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing the other directors here,
Yeah.
the people who are with us to watch their films. It got me really intrigued.
Okay, perfect. Julien, what about you? What would you say for the audience so they let's say you want to watch your film?
But firstly, I want to say that I really want to see the two documentaries because it seems to be really, really great and interesting. So
Interesting. Yeah.
I hope I can see it. And for room, if you want to travel a little bit by this time,
Yeah.
it's a really short drone movie, and so just watch it.
But it allows us to travel at a time we are stuck on a computer, and these kind of the documentaries and the drone films allow us to travel definitely.
So if you want to travel, watch it.
Okay, Joris, what about you? What would be your final kind of final pitch for this?
Well, I don't know if you don't know about Caribbean people, you just can discover some of it. Nobody can put all the society in one movie, but we tried to let young people tell and just not talk about them, but let them talk. So
Yeah.
if you want to see it, you can see it.
It was a tough question, but you guys gave great answers. I like it. Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time for doing this panel for the documentaries and the drone films. The Hollywood Art and Movie Awards starts next week, January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. You're going to have drone films, you're going to have documentaries, you're going to have a lot of other films. We have more than 70 movies this year. And this bunch of people right here really put their heart into it, and I really advise you and I really encourage you to go and watch this film. Thank you so much, guys. Have a very good day.